God is so faithful to fair. When he says you will have a double portion, you will have a double portion. Listen to me carefully. The only time you will not receive that prophetic word is when you give up on God. One error I have seen with believers is that we don't make God a priority in our lives. We make every other thing, everything else a priority except God. God is the last thing we think about at the back of our mind. How many of us here know that we have no power to sleep and wake up in the morning on our own or by ourselves? Just think about that for a second. You have no power. As a matter of fact, when you sleep, you're a dead man alive, because you don't even know what is happening. You're there dreaming, enjoying food somewhere in a party, and drinking. And some people are dreaming they are building mansions in their dreams and whatnot. I've seen a place where a guy was so hungry, and out of the hunger he began to dream that he was eating somewhere in a party, and in the midst of him enjoying the food, a friend just came and woke him up from the dream. He was so mad. He got so upset. He said, why would it be at this moment? Why couldn't you just wait until I finish that? At least let me eat in the dream if I cannot eat in the physical. Hallelujah. Some of us, even when we come in the presence of God, we are not patient enough to receive from God. We are very impatient. Some of us were in church, our mind is only thinking about the activities we want to go outside. As a matter of fact, they are preaching the message, you are not paying attention. Then why did you come to church? Why are you in church? What are you doing here? If you didn't come to receive from God, what are you doing here? No, seriously, we need to rethink. We need to renew our minds, the way we deal with God. Do not be conformed. Romans chapter 12 verse 2. Do not be Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to the things of the world, but rather be transformed by the renewal of your mind. We need to constantly renew our mind. We need to change. There needs to be a paradigm shift in the way we perceive God. If not, we'll just be robots coming to church and going back and remaining the same. Seriously. And what I've realized with us is we make everything as very important, but not our relationship with God. Your job, very important. I'm not saying you should not take your job seriously. You should take your job seriously. And that is why if you're running late, you call your boss and say, boss, I'm running late. Yeah, you're afraid of your boss, but you're not afraid of God. You're afraid that your boss will fire you. You don't even know that that's just physical activity. If God fires you in the spirit, you are doomed. There are a lot of people that God has fired them and still allowed them to come to work. You are already been fired, but you're still coming to work. That means you are working and there's no reward. They will call for prayer, you come for prayer. 5 minutes in prayer, you're already tired. And then if the pastor is praying and just taking his time to pray so that your life will be protected and preserved, you are there, you have twisted your face. The prayer is taking too long. Meanwhile, if you go to a party, especially for the African community, somebody will tell you that the party is at 7 p.m. but the party will start at 11 p.m. Then you go there at 8 p.m. The party has not started. You will sit there and wait. You will be patient enough to wait for the party to start. You'll be so patient. But you can't come to church, to the God that is the author and finisher of your life. That means I believe that this generation of Christians have become too familiar with God. We are too familiar with God. As a matter of fact, I'm beginning to be afraid that people are looking at the pastors as though they are God. Because if that's not the case, you can undermine the pastor, but you cannot undermine God. If you are really, really coming to church for God, you do things the right way.